The flicker. I didn't think the world ended. I just knew it wasn't the same one anymore. There was no fire in the sky, no booming trumpet, no mushroom cloud. The lights were still on. My phone still worked. People still posted cat memes. But something had slipped. Quietly, irreversibly. Like a film reel that jumped a frame. It was subtle, just a flicker. But once you notice the flicker, you can't unsee it. For me, it started around 2016, not with the election results exactly, but with the feeling in the air afterward, a kind of static, a ripple in reality, the kind of unease you feel when you walk into a room and everyone goes silent, not because they saw you, but because they saw something behind you. A collective shiver, the kind of emotional noise you don't hear with your ears, but you feel behind your eyes. I remember watching the stock market crash in real time on election night. It plummeted, 900 points gone, like a scream, swallowed mid-air. But by morning, it had reset, like nothing had happened. That was the first moment I felt it in my bones. This isn't the world I went to bed in. It wasn't just the market. It was the way people spoke, or didn't. The way strangers started looking at each other in airports. The sense that we'd all just been moved, gently, forcibly, into another version of the world. It looked the same, but the emotional gravity had changed, like when a dream almost slips into a nightmare, but doesn't. Not quite. But maybe the crack had already formed years earlier. Maybe it was 2001, when the towers fell and time froze, then broke apart like glass. We never really restarted after that. We kept moving, but nothing landed. And when you think about it, even 9/11 had precursors. Y2K was the dry run, the rehearsal for digital collapse that never came, but made us look at time itself as a system that could fail. That thought alone rewired something in us. Even the clock, we learned, could betray us. Then 2020 arrived, and the world really did stop. Streets emptied, time dissolved. We all sat inside waiting to reboot. And when we emerged, we didn't reboot. We scrolled. We streamed. We tried to feel normal by repeating what we used to do. But nothing tasted the same. This book isn't about a conspiracy. It's about a consensus fracture, a moment in our collective history where the world split, not with a bang, but with a blink. Most people felt it, but had no name for it. We kept moving, kept refreshing, but deep down, many of us whispered the same thing. Something's wrong. Something changed. This isn't the real. Maybe you felt it too. A kind of haunting, a sense that reality is being remembered more than it's being lived. That things are happening again, but they're less vibrant, less sharp. Like déjà vu with the color drained out. The same conversations, the same aesthetics, the same moral panics on loop, and yet nobody seems to notice how much has hollowed out. That's what this book is about. Not a theory, but a condition. We are not living in a simulation. We are living in an imitation. The difference matters. A simulation is something engineered, deliberate, coded intentional. But an imitation, that's something else. It's a copy, a mimic, something that looks like what came before, but isn't quite it. A world built from fragments of itself, stitched together and kept upright by habit. Imitation is more insidious than simulation, because while a simulation might glitch or reveal its edges, an imitation hides in plain sight. It keeps the shapes, the outlines, the routines. You can drive to work. You can buy coffee. You can say the right things and hear the right words in return. But something's missing, and the mind feels it, even if the mouth can't explain. There's a line from Zen that says, "The finger pointing at the moon is not the moon. Imitation is the finger that forgot what it was pointing at. And now, all we see is the gesture, over and over, without ever lifting our eyes to what's real." That's the flicker. That's what I saw. And once you see it, you begin to see it everywhere, in culture that references itself instead of creating, in art that feels more like content, in language that loses its weight, in politics that play the same fight over and over, in people who say, "I feel off," but don't know why. This book is not a complaint. It's a guide, a map back to the real. Because the real isn't gone. It's just buried, layered beneath convenience and distraction and trauma. It whispers through music that moves you, through the silence of a forest, through the honest laugh of someone who isn't performing. The real is still here. It just stopped trending. This is a book about how to notice the flicker, how to name it, how to hold it in your hand without looking away, and what to do, what to become once you see it. This has been an excerpt from Imitation Theory by Sam Elliott. Read the full book and discover more stories that question the nature of reality at mybook.to/imitation theory.